Hey guys, today join us as we look for the coordinates of Attin in episode 5 and 6. Let's get into it.
What is up, my fellow Jedi and Siths? How are ya? This is Till the End of the Line podcast. I am the Master Jedi nerd with the laughs here with
The Sith Apprentice?
Oh,
Nerd with the knowledge, I guess?
Okay, aka nerd with the yawns. All right.
Or Darth Nerd with the knowledge. I'll take that.
I like that. I'm not
That
mad
was
at
way better.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that one. That one flows real nice. So we're going to be talking about, as he said, the episode 5 and 6 of Skeleton Crew. But first, if you guys have seen our last few episodes, you will have noticed we have some new end credits music.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy who I found out had a music studio, and then I asked him if he could do a little beat for us, and I kind of. His inspiration, I told him that I wanted was kind of Avengers Endgame or Avengers-esque theme song. Mm-hmm. So you hear the horns and stuff like that, and the kind of like orchestra type of music.
Right.
And then he came back with this beat that was just dope as hell, which is
beat.
what you guys hear on our outro. If you guys stick around all the way to the end credits, that is our outro. So shout out to his YouTube handle is at PoombaFo. So if you guys
at PoombaFo?
Fo F-O-E, like Fo bad guy. Yeah, so check him out if you guys want to see some of his stuff.
Pumbaa Timon?
Pumbaa, yeah, that's actually his nickname. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, he's had it. I have the story of that. I'll tell you off air, but yeah.
Okay, cool.
So shout out to him. Thank you very much for that. When he put that goblin laugh in there, I was like mic drop. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, it's so good.
It was dope.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was real dope. Do you have the MP3?
I do. It's in the Google Drive.
I bet. So
yeah. So thank you to him again. If we ever do a rebranding, I'll probably get in contact with him to make a new theme song for us. But as you said, so we're going to be talking about those 2 episodes. How many more we have? I think there's only 2 more after this, right?
Yeah, episodes 7 and 8
are probably the finale episode.
Correct. So 7
episodes.
drops tonight.
Yeah.
Like now. Yeah, it's only 8 episodes.
Only 8, sweet. So we're going to be giving you guys that finale also too in a double episode like that.
But that finale is going to be interesting.
Hell yeah, man.
Because we get the kiddos.
Yeah. That's right. We're gonna have our boys on, and we're gonna talk about the whole entire season and cover those 2 episodes. So that's gonna be real fun. But we have a bunch of nerd news too.
A lot has came out in the past week, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ross Marquand, voice of Red Skull in Endgame, has revealed he has a pitch to Marvel and Disney Plus, a series about Steve Rogers returning to the Infinity Stone.
Yeah, so now we have confirmation that someone on the inside has voiced their desire for this to happen. Because it started off as a fan cast thing and something that fans wanted. I think it would be a great story for not even a Captain America story, just a Steve Rogers story of just him putting the stones back.
Right. So I know before the contract officially ended, and before, so there was rumors of flirting with apparently Marvel was flirting with an idea of a solo Steve Rogers film. Not a Captain America film. Mm-hmm. And apparently they couldn't come up with...
Yeah, they couldn't come up with a story. Like, what?
Like, are you serious?
Yeah, there's so many things you could have literally... Like, all right, let's put the stones thing aside, putting the stones away. Give us a film of what he was doing while he was gone. Mm-hmm. Well, how he got to him being old.
Right, him living with Peggy.
With Peggy and doing... Because I guarantee you he was still doing S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, maybe not as Cap, but as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, I would imagine. Yeah. He would, dude. I mean, he didn't hang up the shield and go work at Best Buy or something. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
He wasn't Or no, they didn't even have Best Buy back then. But what? He didn't start McDonald's or whatever. Right? You know what I mean? Like he was out there doing Captain
He's
America
really Roy
stuff.
Kroc this whole time.
Yeah, exactly. But we have a lot to get through, so let's try to breeze through this.
Yeah,
another bit of news: Jason Momoa will play Lobo in Supergirl: Woman of Tomorrow. This is
casting.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know if you saw it, but I saw this interview with him. He was talking about when he was auditioning for Justice League. He thought he was going to be going in there as auditioning for Batman. And then they told him, no, like, oh, you got the part. He goes, but you're going to be, Aquaman. And he's like, do you not see me? Like, how's that going to work? Because he was even saying, he goes, it looks more like you. And he was talking to the actor who played Ocean Master. He goes, when I think of Aquaman, I think someone looks like you. And then they explained what type of Aquaman he's going to be. And then he's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But he's always been wanting to play Lobo and advocating to play Lobo, and he had said that he goes, if they ever do it, he goes, hit me up. I will die. I will be happy to do that part.
Yeah.
So it looks like that's what's happening.
Love it. Thank you, James Gunn.
Yeah, for real. And a bit of sad news. Our thoughts and condolences go out to someone that we hold very dear to us. Aubrey Plaza has lost her husband at the age of 47. So they had a death. Yeah, she has. That news just dropped recently. Yeah, and it's horrible to hear that. So our thoughts and prayers go out to her and her family and his family. We hope she gets through this trying time. Yeah. But we have some after that, kind of in that same realm. Well, that same side of Marvel. We have some big news for you, huh?
Oh yeah, Elizabeth Olsen will return as Scarlet Witch in the Avengers Doomsday movie.
I mean, sound more excited about it, dude. That's the huge news for you.
It's huge. I was just hung up on more on the Aubrey Plaza.
Oh yeah, I know it's a bit of a weird placement to go. It's such big news.
So they ruled it suicide.
Yeah,
that's why it was tough. Mm-hmm. So it's not. Yeah. Either way. Yeah. Elizabeth Olsen. I'm fucking excited. In Doomsday. Yeah. So there is that storyline where Doom brainwashes the Scarlet Witch, and she basically becomes his bride, and uses her reality warping powers to his benefit.
To help create Battleworld, no? Or he does that on his own.
I don't know if he does that. I don't know if he helped create the Battleworld with her reality warping. But
look into that. See if that's how that happens.
But all right. So that's that. So easily she's gonna be lined up with, RDJ's Doom is gonna be manipulating her.
Yeah. Because do you see it being the A1? No, what is it? 818 or 828? 86. What is it? The one that we've already seen.
838.
838.
No, 828.
I thought it was 828.
I don't remember.
8 universe, and the one from Multiverse of Madness. We'll just say that.
You think it's going to be hers?
That's what I'm asking. Do you think it's going to be her? Do you think it's going to be a completely different, or will it be the 616?
Maybe.
Because they've always alluded to the fact that she's dead, but it's never been said or confirmed that she is dead in that universe. She's she's arguably the most powerful, Avenger out there, or superhero out there. She could easily survive that. Right. She could have put up a force field right before it fell on her.
Right. Similar to how, because her chaos magic, and, Wong says it, she was meant to either destroy or rule the galaxy.
The cosmos.
The cosmos, right.
Yeah.
Similar to how the Infinity Stones, she's that type of singularity where when Thanos snapped, he atomized the stones, but their essence, they're atoms still, so they essentially can be reforged.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I don't think that chaos magic and her reality warping powers can essentially they can manifest somehow. So I think her spirit, similar to how when Billy died, in the hex,
it goes into something else,
right? So she could be dormant somewhere. She could be in this purgatory.
That's a good, I like that. Okay,
so essentially she physically she's dead, but her spirit, her astral, projection could still be alive somewhere.
So you're thinking maybe they can have her be another character, but look to everyone else different, but we see Elizabeth Olsen?
I think it's going to be reversed.
Everyone else sees Elizabeth Olsen.
No, everyone else is going to see whatever vessel she's taking over.
That's literally what I just said.
Oh, I heard that backwards.
Yeah, I said everyone else sees someone else, but we see Elizabeth Olsen.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, speaking of returning, we have reports that Beast will return in both Doomsday and Secret Wars.
I'm excited for that.
Now, that's Hank...
Hank Pym. Hank McCoy. Sorry.
That's why I paused, because I know it's not Pym.
Hank McCoy, yeah.
Now, and hopefully, what's his name, the actor? He played Frasier. Oh, what is your name? The actor that played...
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, him. Hopefully he returns, which I don't see that being... Seeing as how Beast will be CG, like how he was in the Marvels, I don't see him not just voice acting, because he is up there in age now, but I don't see him just coming into voice act, or like he won't be able to just come into voice act. He won't have to do any physical things like he did in Last Stand.
For that.
Yeah. So on the heels of both or the Golden Globes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have a few congrats and few flowers to give. So congrats to Colin Farrell for his Golden Globe win for Best TV Limited Series / Movie Actor in The Penguin.
Yep.
Well deserved. The man should have got that award for sure. Also, congrats to Sebastian Stan for his Golden Globe win for Best Performance by a Male Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Is it just me, or are these awards getting super specific now?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but I think it's opening up more categories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But two, like, it's
and
not...
that picture was a different man. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. So these are two... these awards that they're doing, I think they were too broad before.
Yeah.
And then they were going up against...
Because it was just like Best Male Actor, Best Female Actor. Like,
right.
Yeah.
And it was like a wide range of movies. So they all easily should have won. But now that they're being categorized...
Yeah, it'd be like a drama up against a comedy up against... Yeah. Right. I get what you're saying. All right, fair enough.
And so it allows more people essentially to win...
Yeah,
but by recognizing their outstanding performances and not saying, because like for the longest no one was gonna give an award to any comic book hero. But now that there's so many movies that have successfully came out and some outstanding performances,
I still think it's still a hard sell for them to give it to a superhero over like somebody giving a dramatic performance. And like, let's say what's that Christopher Nolan movie that just came out with RDJ in it about the atom bomb?
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, against somebody who plays a great role in Oppenheimer, it's still gonna be a hard sell,
right? But at some point, what I'm saying is like there's going to be a superhero category.
Oh, I'm so hopeful. Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah,
like, and that's the direction that they're going with this. Is now there's going to be categories for these specific projects that are outstanding movies.
Yeah,
but are kind of just blackballed a little bit because they're a certain genre.
Yeah,
true. You know what
I mean? And also congratulations to our girl Zoe Saldana for her Golden Globe win. For her performance in that movie Emilia Perez that I was telling you about.
Yes, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, you got to see it now, man. It's really good. But some big news.
Like, comic book heroes.
Yeah, doing big things now. Yeah, hell yeah. In other fields, they're not just stuck in the.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Penguin,
realm.
Colin Farrell. Whatever.
But that's because of his performance in that thing. So chalk it up to that. That's a superhero. That's a hero.
Often
a comic book
villains win.
Say comic book because their performances are more drama based. They're more intense. That's why.
Yeah.
But giant news for us here at the podcast.
Yeah.
Congrats! A big congrats to Tom Holland and Zendaya on their engagement. I'm sure you guys have already heard this because it blew up the internet. We hope that this was coming, and we couldn't be happier that this couple is taking that next step, and we hope and wish nothing but the best for them.
On that,
yeah.
So they have a big year coming up. So they're filming that
Christopher Nolan
movie,
right? Yeah,
and then they have Spider-Man 4, and then
they're going to be filming next year
together.
Yeah.
2 movies.
Well, I hear that she's taking her role's going to be minimized a little bit because of her schedule, so she might be doing other things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But
which is fine because in this story, I think her role shouldn't be a major part if they're going with the story that we think they're going with symbiotes and having
hear me out.
Daredevil, Punisher, and all them in it.
Yes, and Mephisto.
Yeah, and Mephisto. We don't know. Sacha Baron Cohen may play that role, but we don't. There's no confirmation on that yet.
Right. So yeah, that's why I was gonna go with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like Daredevil, Punisher, and then lots of it says symbiotes will appear.
Yeah. So
symbiotes plural, not a symbiote.
Dude. Hell yeah. So it looks like Daredevil is confirmed to be in it, but Punisher isn't confirmed yet.
Correct.
He may. So hopefully
might appear.
Yeah. Which is it's looking like Punisher's turning out to be like Daredevil's sidekick in any project, because this is like, if we see Daredevil, we're gonna see Punisher, which I'm all for it. Please give me more John Byrne anytime you can. But yeah,
my thing is the Mephisto part.
Yeah,
so
that's gonna be big.
I know with Spider-Man 3, New Rockstars had theorized about what was that comic run, A Day in a Time or Day at a Time, Day something.
Mm-hmm.
Where he makes a deal with Mephisto to make everybody forget that he's Peter Parker.
Oh, that's right. Instead of Strange. That's right. That's right. Ooh, interesting.
So I wonder if that's how he makes the deal to reverse it with Mephisto to gain allies against Null.
Interesting. Yeah, because I had heard something. I think it was New Rockstars had said that Doctor Strange is the only one that knows who Peter Parker is. I'm like, no, he forgot too.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the only person that knows,
and I can't remember, but I don't know if he says anybody who ever knew you're Peter Parker doesn't know. So that means anyone off-world too would forget, or if it's just anybody on Earth. I can't remember what specifically he said.
No, so anyone on Earth.
You're sure it's Earth?
I'm pretty sure,
and not just who's known him.
I think that's why.
Because I don't know how far when he hit that thing. I don't know how far it went. If it just stopped in the atmosphere, or if it just shot out in the cosmos.
I don't think it shot out.
But anyway, let's get off of nerd news here. But but yeah. So please make sure to like and subscribe and click that notification bell to keep up with the latest in nerd news.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So on to the meat and potatoes of this episode, and that is episode 5 and 6 of Skeleton Crew. And now Kika is going to give us the episode 5 rundown.
Yes. So on IMDb, this one was ranked an 8.1.
Nice.
This was a little bit of a longer episode, and if I'm not mistaken, the highest ranked episode so far, yes, and with
the
reason.
rest are in 7s.
This was a really, really.
This was a big episode. This was a big one. Yeah,
and we got some mutiny at the end. We got a little lightsaber action, lightsaber failure, but So the episode opens up with.
Well, give us a synopsis. What is?
Oh yeah, so a seemingly pleasant world will test our heroes like no other.
Ooh.
Let's change the word pleasant to pleasure world, but whatever.
Yeah, very, very true. Yeah.
So it opens up with Wim's dad sitting at his desk. No, he meets with somebody, gets this
He meets with Neil's mom.
Correct. And gets this chip situation with wires connected to it, plugs it into his computer to steal some intel on the kiddos.
There with the
Here we go.
Living up to
Here
the
we
name.
go. And then
here's a good drinking game while watching this episode. Every time he yawns, shot it. Do a shot. Bing.
Pour me up a shot. I'll take one right now.
Do you really want one?
Oh, fuck it. Yeah, I'm done.
Oh my god.
Pour me up. Right here. I'll mix it with my lemonade.
All right.
So he ends up getting caught, and Fern's mom. So they Android interrogates him. He's like, "What's in your hand?" He's like,
"Wait, do it."
He's like, "What's in your hand? What's in your other hand?"
Wait, hold
on. What is the robot?
The robot's like, "Show me both your hands," and then it just cuts away to him plopping it on
Fern's mom.
Faye's Farrah.
Fern.
Her name is Farrah.
Oh, the mom's name is Farrah.
Yes, the mom's name is Farrah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad.
You're covering this episode. You should know that.
I keep kidding. I'm out of it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he she's like, I told you.
I should be like, that's a 33. Come on, baby. You need your nap.
Come on. Seriously. I really wish I had time for a nap today. But anyway, so
yeah.
She kind of like gets mad that he went looking for the information. It was basically
well, we then see that they're all kind of working together. Well, that's the way I took it, that they were all working together, because she goes, delete any memory of this interaction and power down, and then he shuts off. Mm-hmm. And then she goes and she's like kind of pissed at Wim's dad. She's like, what are you doing? She goes, you're not supposed to be doing this. I told you I was going to go through the proper channels.
Right.
And then he's like, is that working? Like, because as we all know, if you do anything the correct way, it takes a long time. So that's why people cheat.
There's a process to all of this. Mm-hmm. And you got to answer to this person and prove it from this person. Yeah. It's like this whole fucking hierarchy bullshit. Mm-hmm. And by that time, who knows what happened to the kids. So he's being a typical worried dad, as he should be.
Yeah, for sure.
So then it switches over to the kids are in the ship, and they got 33 tied up, right, and powered down
with just rope,
that's the funny part, and it'll come up right now. So they're tied down, they activate him, and then he's like, he tells them,
well, KB says that she rerouted something to his memory bank so it won't overload him, right? Or something like that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then, so Fern's like, all right, turn him on. And then you see KB kind of give her like a head nod. Like, I took it as like, really, bitch? Like, stop fucking ordering me around, Okay. I started seeing the frustration.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying with that?
Yeah.
And so she does, so she powers him up, and like he wakes up, but he doesn't like get up yet.
Yeah, just his head. Yeah.
And I think Wim even says like, "Oh, make sure how he's gonna hurt us," and he's like, "I'm not gonna hurt your kids."
I think Neil does. Yeah.
Neil, right? And then I think Jod asks a question and doesn't answer, and then the captain,
Captain Fern. Yeah.
Captain Fern has to be the one to ask the questions, and then. He's asked the question. She goes, all right, tell me about the coordinates of Attin, and then says that his old captain
Onyx Cinder. No, that's the ship. Tac Renaud.
Yeah, Tac Renaud. And then Jod kind of cuts him off, and he's like,
he goes, wait,
he's like Captain Renaud. Yeah, and he's like, you mean as in
he says
Tax Renaud?
Yeah. Because SM33 only says Captain Renaud. Yeah.
And then that's when Jod was like, oh my god. He's like, are we in the Onyx Cinder?
Well, no, he goes, this must be the Onyx Cinder. And
right.
Then,
and then
he goes into this whole
story.
Like basically telling Blackbeard's tale.
Basically.
Yeah. And then Bird's like, so kid, dude. Such a kid.
Oh my god.
To just shut down your glorious little speech moment. And she's
it's the equivalent to a dad saying, back in my day, da 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 da.
And the kids are like, so? Yeah.
Are you done? Are we going to go get Chick-fil-A or what?
Yeah.
Well, with my kids, it's Cane's, but...
yeah,
but Cane's is fire, by the way. Have you had Cane's?
I believe I've had... Oh, the one downtown, right? There's one downtown?
Is there a Cane's downtown? I didn't know that.
Across from the comic book shop, isn't that a Cane's? Chicken.
It is.
Yeah, fire chicken.
Fire,
yeah, really good. Juicy and everything, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Stop, because I haven't eaten dinner, so go ahead. She didn't. She thought it was there, but anyway.
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
Dude,
Mike, woman. Talking to your mic.
Yeah.
Just turn it on to talk. All right, go ahead.
Where was I?
So she says so, and then...
Oh, yeah. So then it cuts out, and then he's like telling... Oh, no. They tell 33. They're like, all right, come on, let's go. Can you...
But she asks, do you know the coordinates? And he goes, or no, and then he says that the captain has the coordinates or has something in a
his
mountain,
chambers.
In his chambers.
Yeah.
She goes, do you know where that is? And he goes, yeah, it's in this mountain. He goes, can you take us there? And then SM33 is like, yeah. She goes, all right, do it. And then he just pops up rips
out of the rope. As the rope did nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely
like, what
nothing.
do you guys think? When that happened, I'm like, yeah. I saw that happening no other way. Like, there was no way rope is going to hold down an android. What are you guys doing? And you have an adult Jod there. Like, that shouldn't have been an excuse for anything to happen.
I don't know why he didn't grab chain of some sort to, like,
something. Like, I would have taken out second shot. Boom. I would have taken off his legs or something. Like, dismantled his legs.
Just taking his head off, and then that way you just speak to the head.
Just the head. Yeah. Well, that might mess with the inner wirings. That's why I said just the legs. He's already fucking hobbled with one leg.
That's true.
Just take off the one leg. That's a foot, and then he ain't gonna stand up and like he'll be like he'd be one of those.
He'd arm it.
Those spinning top things.
He'd arm it.
Oh, and crawl with the arms. That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they head over to this planet.
Yeah, they put the coordinates in as they're in hyperdrive. Not hyperdrive.
Kind of hyperspace.
Yeah,
it's still the same thing.
Right. So so they jump and they're as they're like cruising through. He's telling more stories about it, and Jod kind of cuts them off, and he's like, "All right, come on, like that's enough. Like we're arriving here."
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get there,
well, they realize that it's not the place that SM-33 thought it was going to be.
I skipped the crucial part. Sorry.
What part?
Before they got there, Jod finds Wim crying.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was a
pretty sad moment for Wim. But a horrible moment for Jod, because he is so bad at just building up these kids. Because he's a pirate.
I'll tell you this: don't go to Jod with your babysitting needs.
Yes,
because this man don't know how to talk to kids
or for advice
or counseling. He's not going to be in the Big Brother program. I promise you.
We don't even know if Jod's his real name at this point. To be honest,
he's got like 18 names.
We find a new name.
There's
two new names in this
AKA one. Every single time.
Every
episode, this guy's got a new AKA.
Jesus Christ.
So he's talking. Wim's feeling sad, and he misses his home. This isn't the adventure he thought it was gonna be. He misses his dad and his mom, and then now we finally get the answer that his mom is in fact dead.
Yeah, but Jod goes, here's the way to do this. Just forget about your parents.
Yeah.
Emotional damage.
What?
Just forget about him. And then he walks off, and he's like, you'll see him again. And then as he's walking out, he was like, well, no, my mom. And that's when we find out. Like, and he's like, Like, he turns back around like, okay, I can't be that much of a dick now. This poor kid's like,
no, I think he just like, he doubles down on it, because then he goes, just forget about them, make a new life. You do whatever you want. Isn't it? I do it. This kid's like 11 years old. You're telling him to make a new life?
What the? Ruin this kid so
what the hell are you doing, eh? The worst man in the galaxy. But okay.
So that was that. So then they arrive. They're in this like snowy mountain region at this planet, and he's like, I recognize these grounds and this mountains, and then
they get closer or come around the mountain. I think it was right, or just get closer. One of the two, and then they see a fucking.
Oh, damn! I keep skipping a part. I'm so sorry.
What part?
This is key. Well, not key, but it'll lead to the end of the episode. Mm-hmm. After they have this tiny heart-to-heart conversation.
I would not call that heart-to-heart. I would call that, like, just destroying a heart, really. But go ahead.
Well, that horrible interaction.
Yeah.
Wim asks him, he's like, so if you're not a Jedi, how do you do those things? He just smiles and walks away.
Oh, yeah, dude, what the fuck?
Doesn't answer it, and then it cuts to them landing.
I thought he was going to, like, explain to him, like, there's other people out there that aren't Jedi that can do these things.
That are force sensitive.
Yeah.
Nothing. Just smiles and
walks
smirks
off.
And walks off.
Yeah.
I'm like,
fucking
what
douche.
the fuck? So now they arrive finally.
Mm-hmm. So skip back to where we were, and then so they get to the mountain, and he's expecting it just to be like a mountain bearing, probably like with a cave with the captain's quarters. A fucking full on resort.
Well, before that, they see like
they went to Sandals, Jamaica, apparently, or something. Like what?
Basically, so
like,
they see this big ship landing, and 33 is like, oh, that's one of those. He starts talking about some local people that like are living there.
Mm-hmm.
Jod's like, that looks like a pleasure yacht. Which I'm guessing is equivalent to what like the Grandmaster would drive.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. His like a little pleasure yacht, that little flying thing that he has.
Yeah.
That's what I thought of as soon as I heard him say the pleasure yacht.
And then is that when those two ships pull up?
Yeah.
Right next to
them. And they connect to the intercom and ask if they have a reservation. and
The intercom, he says. You mean their radio?
whatever.
They're just in the ship. Beep, Captain. No, go ahead.
So that
We
happened.
need toilet paper down here. But okay, so yeah, they're telling them like, do you have a reservation, or this is a peaceful planet, and blah blah blah. Do you have a reservation? It sounds like you have kids on the ship.
And that's what God's like. He's like, you brought us to Lanupa, which is basically
Sandals, Jamaica. Yeah,
yeah. So it's basically a pleasure island.
yeah.
And it's called Skull Ridge Mountain.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
But when they arrive, they find out that it's called Skull Ridge Mountain Spa.
yeah. Which Skull Ridge Mountain sounds like a part of Disneyland.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound. Which I don't. If you got a resort, why are you putting skull in the name, dude? Like, what the fuck?
But it was Skull Ridge Mountain originally.
Right, but you can't change it to sound more pleasant.
But people know it's Skull Ridge Mountain.
Correct, but people know plenty. We know it as the Sears Tower, but it's not the Sears Tower anymore. It's the Willis Tower now.
Okay, fair point.
You know what I mean? So, like, you could change the name. How many sports stadiums get their name changed? You know what I mean?
Sox,
Like,
poor Sox.
yeah. So
Comiskey, U.S. Cellular, Guaranteed
now,
Rate.
Guaranteed Rate Field. The worst name to name something.
Yes.
Guaranteed Rate Field.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And they're not
Okay.
guaranteed to win shit right now. So...
Zing! Okay.
So when they arrive, they land. Like the other ships kind of like guide them off, and as soon as they land, they fly off.
Yeah.
They land, and the lady, like the hostess chick, she's like, yeah, let's contact waste removal. This might
Bogus.
we might need some
That's
assistance.
the equivalent to like you pulling up to a nice restaurant and a jalopy in the valet's like, have the tow truck guys on standby. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because that's so bogus to be like, to be fair, their ship it does look raggedy, but bogus is how to be like, hey,
Yes.
contact waste removal, dude. That was bogus, but that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But
So they get there.
and then the kids are little rascaling it, dude. They're like,
Oh, yes.
in like old school or like robes with like fake beards on. Hilarious. Dude.
hilarious. Yeah, they're
This is that good,
they
wholesome,
look like
funny.
goofy Jawas.
Okay, yeah, I
Like-
see that.
like,
Yeah,
like weird goofy Jawas.
yeah.
So they get there, they like metal detect them, and they're like, "Oh, you can't have a weapon, sir." He's like, "Okay." He's like, "All right." So they take this
his
little
knife
his-
and gun.
kind of like a saber situation.
Yeah, it's like giant knife. Yeah, blade.
And then they put a like this magnetic charge on 33,
Mm-hmm.
and it stops him or enables him from making any violent actions because you're not allowed to have weapons on this resort.
Yeah, but before that, she goes to speak to the elders. Oh
yeah.
And then he goes, "Well, I'm their translator," and then he just starts speaking gibberish.
Yeah, and the
Making-
kids were speaking gibberish too.
It's literally what they're doing. And then, dude, that shit was so funny when he started doing that. He's like, and then they responded. Then they just go on, and this lady is just like buying it all. Like, what?
It's hilarious.
To be fair, they deal with many alien, different species. I'll just say, and different beings. So I could see that they would imagine that that's a language.
And she was so easily in the upcoming scene. She was so easily bought.
yeah.
So shady, shifty people go there all the time.
Yeah, dude, that's not their first.
You know?
Well, they said it's a neutral place. You know what I see it like? The Continental in John Wick.
But with a splash of Asian parlor.
Okay. I mean, I would imagine they still have like masseuse and stuff at the Continental and stuff. So yeah, I just see that it's the Continental because literally pirates and everybody go there, bounty hunters and they go there to chill.
Yeah, it's a
They
safe
don't.
zone.
It's a safe zone. Exactly, it's a safe zone.
That's Switzerland. Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. So call it Swiss Ridge Mountain or something. I don't fucking know.
Switzerland doesn't exist in this galaxy. It's not a real thing.
Earth is still part of this.
We don't know
Star
that.
Wars?
They've never referenced Earth.
It is.
Ever.
It is far, far away. So maybe it's in a different galaxy. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. We would still know it as Swiss Ridge. You're like, I know it's Swiss. I understand that reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So after they make their way in, they go to basically the front desk to check in.
Right. And Jod like slides a Republic coin.
Uh huh.
And then right before he does that, he was trying to smooth talk his way in, and then the bounty hunter recognizes him, and he calls him.
She calls him.
Or she
something.
calls him. Where the fuck is the name?
Something with an X, no? Excuse me.
Dash Senton.
Oh.
It's another name. And the bounty hunter snitches into calling the pirates.
Yeah. Well, we don't see that yet, but we see them like apparently they have some kind of history. Again, John lives up to his name of backstabbing, and he left her stranded somewhere.
Basically, he used another alias and did a job with her, and then fucking ghosted her.
He like double crossed her and left her stranded and took the earnings or whatever. Yeah. So I mean, every episode we're seeing more and more to trust what other people are saying about this guy.
Right. And no one has been wrong of what they say about Jad.
Yeah. Well, we don't find that out yet, but yeah, we will soon.
Yeah.
So then he has to bribe his way in.
Yeah. He gives her a credit.
Slides that credit, that Old Republic credit.
Puts it in her thing. And she's like, oh, okay, well, what name were you under?
And then he says it, and then she's like, okay. She goes, and them? And then he's like, yep, another one. And then what happens to where he has to give her a bunch? I thought the bounty hunter came then.
I think you're right.
Yeah, the bounty hunter came then. She heard all that, and then he's like, fuck. Here, take it off. Yeah. I need to get in the spa.
And you know what? Upgrade me, by the way.
Yeah. Ask for a big old thing. And so then they get to the room, and then in like kid fashion.
Oh, my God.
The kids.
This part.
Oh, my God. This room. Dude, you've gone to Disneyland with your kids. Tell me they didn't act like this when they first got in the room.
Yeah,
in some form or fashion.
I guess in a way I did too, though, because our condo was pretty dope that we went to. We had this dope ass timeshare.
You're not helping your situation when I call you a big kid. Like
it was cool, dude. The balcony was.
You're dope. Like right with the kids this way. Sandy's like, "Come on." You're like, "All right, come on, kids." What the hell?
I enjoyed it after they did because I was unloading the truck and. When I got out there, it's like, oh.
So you didn't see, but they probably acted like that.
Yeah,
you just didn't. You weren't in the room for that.
But I know that's how they act because we've done other things. When we went to
jumping on
Santa's Village.
Yeah,
is that what it's called in Wisconsin?
Yeah,
Santa's Village. We went out there and we stayed in this cool cabin, and they're like, the kids were like, we want the big room, and they ended up taking the king bed.
Oh, sucks.
And we fucking slept in this little full.
To be fair, there is more of them than you two.
Yeah, but we had a pull-out couch, so we're gonna put the twins in the pull-out couch, the big girls in the full-size bed.
Right,
me and Sandy
all
were
of them on the one. Anyway,
it didn't happen that way. All the girls ended up wanting to just have the big bed by themselves.
Fair enough.
And kicked Isaiah out. And
he had to
sleep with us.
So
I was trying to have some adult time.
Yeah, I gotcha. So, you were trying to have a Jedi Knight, if you know what I mean. But no, so. So they act like pure kids and go in there, check out the whole room, jumping on the bed.
And Jod is trying to give them the plan of what to do. Yeah. And he's like, "Are you listening to any of this?" And Friend's like, "Yes." What did I say? Are you listening to any of this? I fucking face palm.
Yeah,
so hard.
I lost it on that because I'm like, oh. I swear to God, producer has literally done that shit to me. Where I know she's not paying attention to me, and I'm like, "What did I just say?" She goes, "Are you listening?" And I'm like, fuck you, okay? I'm like, you know what the hell I meant. Like, stop it. But she does it just to get under my fucking fingernails. But anyway. So then he kind of breaks down the plan, and then they, of course, as they've done before, they decide to split up.
Right. And,
dude, that was annoying me when they were like, well, I want to go with this way. I want to go with this. I'm like, dude.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah. So I got in the habit of doing that with my kids where I prepare them. Like, we're going here. This is the plan. Don't ask me questions. You're doing this. You were doing this. End of story. Yeah. Don't tell me I don't want to do this. Yeah. And I prepped them on a car ride. So that way, when we get there, they're like,
does it ever go according to plan?
As soon as they get out the car, I'm like, you guys know the plan, right? And I remind them. And they know. I know they know at this point. So they don't. I don't give them windows to fucking play like this game no more.
Well, to be fair, you are way better at handling kids than Jod, so...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
that's another reason why Judge should not babysit your kids.
For sure.
All right. He should not be a nanny.
Never. So what happens after that? Well, they get the plan finally.
Yeah,
down,
they get the plan. They split up. And as they're going, so it goes, it's SM33, Wim and Fern, they go one way, and then KB, Neil, and Jod go one way, and so yeah, right. Yeah, I was right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't doing that for what you said. I was trying to remember what happens to SM-33 when they get down into where that big creature is. But that was me.
He goes to get them.
Oh, that's right. That's why he wasn't there. Fuck. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Because Wim and Neil have comms, and they're like, Jedi 1, Jedi 2. Oh my god. They're so fucking cute.
We gotta answer the phone like that from now on.
Oh, no, we're not.
Come on. When I call you, I'll be like, Jedi 1 and Jedi 2. You better say Jedi 2 here. I swear to God if you don't.
Well, get an Apple Watch and we can fucking...
I'm so down. I'm ready to... Or I want to get an Apple Watch soon, but yeah. Because you can do the walkie thing on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so down for that. Hell yeah. And we'll only call each other that through the walkie, not through the regular phone.
While we're taking a shit.
Oh, God. What?
Jedi 1 bombs away at B4. You're playing battle shits, you know?
Jedi 1 dropping a 2. Yeah. Okay. So then they split up. Fern, Wim, and no.
Yeah, Fern,
no, it's
Wim,
KB. No, I thought it was Fern and Neil.
No.
It is because Fern.
No, Fern and Wim.
Oh, you're right. Fern and Wim are downstairs. Yeah, you're right.
And then Fern and Wim go down with 33.
Yeah.
And then because
they get to like a mud room.
33 is like I go where the captain goes.
Yeah.
So that's how I know they got stuck
that's
together.
Right.
And then that's when Neil was like, I want to go with Wim.
Yeah, I don't know why I was imagining. I don't know why I was imagining Neil next to Fern when they were talking to the creature, but it is Wim. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
Well, later they regroup. But anyways, the creature lifts them and puts them down. And when he puts Wim down last and Fern is standing next to him, that's maybe the scene you're thinking of when they get put into the tunnels.
Yeah.
So whatever, they're looking around. KB is like analyzing some like engravings on the wall upstairs by like the mud bath situation. It's like a what's it called? Like a jacuzzi of mud bath. So that's happening, and they're walking around, and then Wim realizes that the what are those officers, right? I guess, right? Are like looking for them. He's like, Jod, they're looking over here. He's like, just act like nothing. And then one of the officers comes up and then he calls Jod by the
professor or something or other.
Yeah. The alias that he took off of the computer,
off the reservation,
right?
Yeah. Which is I'm guessing it was a professor that guy knew. Like he knew the professor.
No, I think
he was looking at him like, hey, Professor blah, blah. Like, that's why he was, like, looking at him like that. That's how I took it.
No, I took it as, like, hey, Professor blah, blah, blah. Professor blah, 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 blah. Like, sarcastically saying...
Oh, no, I didn't take it that way.
And that's why he was like, run! And that's why they ran. Because they realized that they were on to him.
Yeah, but I took... After the second or third time he said it, that's when he was like, "Oh shit, they're on to me," and that's why he ran. Yeah, but
no, I think they were searching for them for that reason. I'm thinking the original professor arrived now at this time, and and she wasn't at the door or at the desk to check them in. Somebody else did. And they're like, "Oh, you checked in already."
I figured no, she's always the person the one.
Yeah, or maybe she's just like, "Yeah, he said that was who he was," and probably just didn't fucking snitch, you know, that she took the money.
Yeah.
So whatever. So they run, then they get cornered, and it's. KB pulls out this fucking wrench, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
They're laughing at her, yeah.
And
what are you gonna do with that?
Turns the fucking thing and
a nut on the pipe, and then
it fucking explodes.
Yeah.
Hits them with the.
Well, they hear rattling first, and then they start bursting everywhere and create like a fog for them.
And then that's when 33 shows up, right? 33 shows up, takes them where they need to run. They take off. They go down. And it turns out this whole time, Wim and Fern had ran into this like octopus dude, and they found the captain's sigil or logo or whatever in the center of this like rock situation.
Yeah. Well, at first looks like that creature was gonna harm them or do something bad, and then it cuts back, or when the group regroups with them, They're just sitting having a conversation, having a good old time.
And this creature, or the creature's name was, what did I tell you it was?
Something like weird.
Cthall.
Cephalops or Cephalops. Yeah.
Some crazy ass name.
But yeah, they're just in there telling him a story, having a good old time, like having a nice, just
shooting the shit,
hanging out, chilling, vibing, and then she's like, yeah, he just wanted a story. He seems to be like one of those creatures that just wants entertainment. So then they're chilling, and then that's when she says like, oh, there's the cactus, he's gonna help us. And this fucking dude just takes out one of his tentacles, and boom, breaks a fucking.
Were you sure it was a tentacle?
He might be packing then. Goddamn. But so he, with whatever he used to break, basically a hole into just like a well-looking.
Yeah, it's
situation.
basically like a stone well cover.
Yeah. He breaks that.
It really does look like a well. You're right.
Yeah, and then he lowers them.
He
down
lowers
there.
them all down one by one with his tentacles.
And then they go in and they realize that there's like booby traps.
Well, no, 33 says it. He's like, hey, so the captain has set booby traps.
Oh, that's right.
This part's crazy. So as they're walking through,
these booby traps are serious.
Neil steps on the fucking thing, and he's like, they find this a skeleton on the floor. Jod does. He's like, it looks decapitated. And then
he goes, wait.
33 and Jod look at each other, and they fucking duck. And the kids don't.
Well, before he goes, wait, and then doesn't Neil step on the thing?
Right. And
that part was fucking hilarious.
And they duck because they know they're gonna get cut in half, but the kids don't.
They're like,
and it just fucking goes right over their head, dude.
Yeah, that was hilarious because just like,
I wish Neil had like a tiny bit of hair.
Because Fern is taller than them. How did she not get lasered?
It was like it was closest to her.
Yeah, it was right above
her fucking head. And it was like this like Iron Man laser in Iron Man 2 when he does
the one off.
But now like fucking a lot. Like an array of lasers that cut through. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was crazy. They would have been dead for sure.
Oh, it was multiple lasers in a row, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Nice. Yeah, but that was cool.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so he steps off of it. Neil steps off of it and he's like, sorry. He's such a cutie pie, dude.
Yeah. You cannot stay mad at that guy. Oh, but go ahead.
So they keep walking through.
And now they're on the lookout for booby traps.
Right, right. Yeah. So they make it through to the chamber where there's acid.
Well, no, before that, don't they get to one where they throw around? Oh, no, that happens later.
Yeah. No. So it's not the kids that get there. So they get to the chamber and they walk up to the floor and it turns out to be acid.
There's liquid. It looks like water, but then they test it.
Before they test it, that's when it cuts back to
that is
one of the cops.
Okay. Yeah.
Or like security people.
Yeah.
With the pirates, and then he walks up and he throws this rock, and then there's like
we forgot to say that, right? That the pirates showed up.
Right.
Because she called the bounty. She called
did. Yeah, because she snitched. She called in on the bounty
to Captain Brutus.
Right.
She's talking to him.
They're
and then he's like, she goes, so what about my? She goes, so are you gonna send me my money now? She goes, he's like, you get your money when we have Jod or whatever fucking name Silvo in custody or when we have him.
Right. And then he's like, you better not tell anybody else about this either. Da da da. And then so like that werewolf looking dude arrives.
Mm-hmm.
He's with his whole crew.
Well, no, he doesn't arrive. His fucking Steve Urkel does.
Yes, Steve Urkel.
Kids, if you don't know, Steve Urkel was a character on a old '90s show called Family Matters.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Did I do that?
Yes, that with the glasses.
I'm not liking his voice.
Turn the mic on.
Skeleton Crew.
The character, the voice he's doing, like the raspy deep voice.
I didn't really pay attention to it.
What? Yeah.
Imagine
if he was still doing the Urkel voice.
That'd be hilarious.
Come with us, Silvo. Like
with the head.
Yeah. And the suspenders on. With just the eye thing, the set of glasses.
Oh my god, that'd be perfect. He should cosplay as an Urkel version of him. That'd be fun.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
So
they get to a booby trap that I guess the guard realized that
so he throws a rock and like there's this like portal, but like
levitates.
Like it's gravity chamber, but it's an upside down gravity chamber.
It goes up
Yeah, and into spikes.
And then they get closer to look where that rock went, and then there's fucking spikes coming down the rock.
With skeletons in the spikes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he turns around. He's like, "Yeah, it's okay," and he shoots him. And then he falls back and he goes up.
Yeah.
And then it cuts away from them.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they got through.
Yeah.
that.
How did the fuck did that happen? Anyway, suspend disbelief on that.
Or maybe they just went another way.
All right, we'll go with that.
So then it goes back to them at the chamber where all this acid is at 33, or Fern goes 33 check, and then 33 steps in the acid. That's how they find out it's acid, and they realize it's not water. And then...
well, no, I thought before they just asked him to check the water, and then SM33 steps, and he goes, oh, no, it's acid.
Seems to be acid,
Yeah.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
And then KB's like...
Somebody says it doesn't look like water.
I think Wim does.
And then that's when this girl says for 33 to test it.
Oh, yeah.
And so then KB's looking around and she finds this on the ceiling. There's a message, an inscription, and it says something about pirates having to give up what they value most. And initially, all the kids are like, "Oh, life! You got to give up a life to do it." And Jod's like, "No." Like, if you know what a pirate really cares about, they care about. And then Wim goes, treasure. And he's like, yeah. So then he's like, oh, well, we don't have, you spent all our, and they're all patting themselves down.
Turns out Jod still has
Jod
one.
uses the force and he makes the fucking last credit he has. Well, last credit we think he has float.
I would imagine it is the last one because
probably has
Wim didn't have a shit ton of credits.
He has more.
He had credits for lunch money, dude. Dad's not gonna drop a huge amount of credits for him for lunch for the week.
I get it, but all the other kids had money too.
Are you
Just
sure about
not a
that?
lot. Yeah.
I don't think so. Oh, they did all pull their credits together, huh? Okay, fair enough.
So
I don't think he has any more left. But go ahead.
maybe we'll see. Maybe to compare.
Because he did because he showed everyone on the next episode. He showed all the pirates the credit. All right.
So he does. I was right.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, so that happens. He realizes that, flicks it in, and then acid goes down, and then they fucking beeline it through because they find out, they hear the other pirates coming.
The pirates
through.
coming, yeah.
So they go down, they get into there, they close the door behind them, and they find the chamber, which is cool. All this fucking gold.
Reminds me of when on
And the mummy.
no, not the Mummy. For me, it reminded me of what's the Nicolas Cage movie? The Treasure.
National Treasure.
National Treasure. When they find the first vault and it's just a big ass room of gold shit everywhere.
Well, that's how the mummy is. In the mummy.
Yeah, it's very similar. Very similar. Yeah, but that's what it reminded me. It reminded me more of. I just remembered more of National Treasure than I did the Mummy.
Gotcha.
But yeah, but it's essentially the same scene.
We're
yeah.
just cooler. That's all it is.
Face. But okay.
Um,
So then they see that whole thing and Jod's just like, so they're checking out the room. And
but then he's like, don't touch anything.
seriously,
Jod is like, he's too smart for this. He realized that there's going to be booby traps.
yeah. I would do that too. Like, yeah, you made it to my vault, but you ain't fucking making it out with my treasure. Yeah.
So he tells the kids to kind of look for the captain's log, and they're trying to.
Like, what does it look like? You know, he's like, it's gonna look like something that's disguised as something else.
Something else, because he doesn't trust his crew. And then Wim is the one. No, I'm sorry. Neil is the one that finds it. He's like, I think I found it. Yeah. He's like, everything here is rotten except for that roast. It looks like fresh out the oven.
Yeah, yeah.
And sure enough, he was right. So he leans on the chair that's there, and he goes, boom, the floor goes through.
The floor with the chair attached just drops. Yeah.
And Jod catches Neil, saves Neil from falling. Neil's like, or Jod's like, oh, I'll do it. So he does it.
He leans over it and he lifts up the roast and then presses the button.
Yeah.
Kind of like how the Craven had that little Jaguar that you lifted up and then you press the button to reveal his weapons.
I'm pretending you to make that reference. But
oh my God. It is the same reference. It was the one part you liked in that movie. So, but yeah. so that's what it reminded me of. It's like, oh, it's something, a button hidden under something else, which was cool.
Why so we get this hologram?
I guess to lure people because they're food. I'm gonna sit down and eat. Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
And I'm sure, like when he was living in those chambers, he probably always had fresh food, so you wouldn't be able to see the fake food.
Fair enough. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah,
so a message pops up, kind of similar to like it's a hologram message, kind of like R2 shines up.
they find the captain's log and the location at Attin, and then but 33 is the one that accesses it with like his little droid situation, the little
just call it a cable, a drive, or flash, USB cable kind of situation.
Yeah, or he penetrates the fucking thing. But anyway, so he
penetrates it with his situation, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Don't we all? And so they get up all the information that they need to, and then more information starts playing, and Jaw said, "Okay, that's enough." So he kind of cuts it off.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's like, "Do you have access to the full system here?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, flood the acid or whatever.
Yeah.
And then all we hear is the fucking pirates.
The chambers with his
yeah. And then obviously they're all dead.
Well, not all, but most of them, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that's when we start seeing how savage Jod is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then Jod goes, what was his exact words? He's like, John turns to the kids and he looks at 33 and he's like, I evoke the pirate's code to challenge the captain.
Uh-huh.
And that's when 33 is like, oh, well, he honors the code. That's part of the code. And then Fern's like,
well, he says that, he goes, you guys must now fight for the role of captain to the death.
Yeah. In hand-to-hand combat or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fern's like terrified at this point.
Yeah. She goes,
so she picks up some like golden.
Well, before that,
rod.
she's like, you can't. We're just kids, and this is like trying to plead her case, and then she turns around and he keeps telling her to yield. He goes, just yield, it'll be over. And that's what she grabs, this like big ass gold chalice, kind of thing, and tries to hit him. He grabs it. And,
well, he Jedi forces it to him.
Oh,
calls
right,
it with the force.
Right, yeah.
And then Wim comes out of nowhere with a lightsaber, and you hear the Jedi theme, and he holds it, and he ignites it upside down, and it fucking he drops the fucking thing, and then now they're all terrified, sitting next to the fucking table with the fake food.
Every episode, this kid is letting me down. Like, I keep rooting for this kid, and then he's like that kid on the fucking T-ball team that just can't get it right every time he goes up to bat. It's just like, dude, how are you I'm sorry. How are you obsessed with Jedi and you don't know which way is the right end up of a fucking saber?
Lightsaber, right.
You keep looking at that book thing, that hologram thing of Jedi, and you don't know which way.
Dude, it's crazy.
He held it. I thought this was going to be his moment. I was rooting for him. I was like, oh, here he goes. He's going to light that shit. Obviously, he wasn't going to overtake Jod.
Right.
Because he has the force. And I was like, but it was going to be at least a cool moment of him trying.
I would have preferred him ignite it the right way and then Jod just go and call it back.
Yeah, but that's too cool. This is a kid's comedy kind of a way. So it was fitting that he did it upside down and then, but I was just like, dude, what the
I really thought he was going to have like a cool pose like with it on.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was waiting for, man. But
yeah, so that happens. Poor Wim.
Yeah.
And then so Jod is like, she doesn't surrender, does she?
No, she does. He has her in like a headlock, a reverse headlock.
That's right.
Then she goes, I yield, and then as
he drops her, lets her go,
and he's like, he's down the captain, and then what he says,
Jod goes, take this lot captive, which is like pirate term for take these prisoners in.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, 33 is like, oh, I'm sorry, kids. And then Wim goes, I got it.
Wait, I know, yeah.
Flips the turkey or the roast upside down and hits the button.
He hits the seat. So
yeah, he hits the seat. He puts his hand on the seat.
The one that
Oh,
he goes, I got it.
He does hit the seat. That's right. That's right.
And they're all at the table, and they all
fall
drop.
through. And we have no idea where they go at that point.
That's the episode. Yeah. So that was the nice ending. It's a cool. Right then and there, we literally get confirmation of every other character that has warned the kids about Jod was right.
Yeah.
He's a backstabber. He's in it for himself. He will double cross you. Do not trust him. As soon as he got that treasure, it was done. Because literally, that's all he was using the kids for.
Yeah.
Was to get this.
Absolutely.
So then.
Well, it ends with that part of. I told you he doesn't answer if he is or isn't a Jedi. We see him force pull the lightsaber to his hand. And we see him lift. So So we don't know if he's the one that catches it, but in the end credits or when it turns to the credits, all we hear is the lightsaber ignite.
No, he does. We see him catch it. He catches it.
we see him
it
catch
cuts it? Yeah, he catches it, cuts to black, and then we hear the lightsaber turn on.
Right.
Which is dope. I like that.
I don't know if we hear it.
Yeah,
or we see him catch it.
You see him catch it, and then it cuts to black.
Because I know he calls for it. I see it raised from the floor.
Yeah,
maybe
he catches it. I'm 100% positive. He catches it, and then it cuts to black, and then you hear the lightsaber turn on, which is dope. So then we cut to episode 6. That's the only episode. Episode 6, Zero Friends Again. Relationships fray under the pressures of a difficult journey. Now, this one got a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb. So this episode
strong episode.
Yeah, strong episode. Very
I think
good.
it's the second strongest.
Probably my favorite one so far.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. So the episode starts with the kids sliding down a series of like large pipes. As they're sliding down, they start getting separated into like different pathways.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get separated. First, Fern gets separated, then KB, and then Wim and Neil go down the same pathway. And then when they get to the end of the pipes, they just get shot out, dude, because they're sliding, and they just get shot out of these tubes, and they each just hit the ground, and Wim and Neil hit the ground. I would imagine hardest because they come out of the highest pipe. So there's like a few. I don't know if you guys ever seen like some big industrial place where they have pipes coming out into sewage or whatever. It kind of looks like that. So they all flop down.
Typically, like what silos look like. Like there's a huge silo, and then there's always this like
pipes.
That
So similar to that. So then they all fall out hard just onto the cold ground, and then Neil notices that KB's just laying there motionless. So he's like, "Oh yeah, KB." So he runs to her to see if she's okay, and then Fern tells him sometimes her augs go bad and that she can't move, so they have to reset her. So Fern says to KB, she goes, she's gonna reset her occipital link, and then they turn on her side and she does it, and she's like, she's gonna be okay. So then we see Jod fucking climbing out of this like manhole situation, this hatch, covered in jewelry. What?
They said she's gonna be okay for the time being, but she still needed to replace that.
Oh no, yeah, but we don't find that out yet because she just said she's gonna be okay. But we don't find out that she needs more repairs till further in the episode. But so then so we see Jod coming out of this hatch just draped in jewelry, just holding pearls and chains and covered in chains and shit like that. And then he gets out and he opens the hatch right in front of the check-in girl.
Yeah.
The check-in lady. And then he's like, he looks up and he's like, "Oh, I'm glad you're here." He goes, "I'd like to check out, refuel my ship, and prepare for my immediate departure." And then you hear the gun charge up, and it's fucking Steve Urkel, and he's got a gun to Jod. And then he's like, he tries to bargain his way out, saying, I found it. I found what we can. It's a huge, and then it's a huge
score. And
huge score. He doesn't want to hear it. He goes, "Oh, we got a room for you." He's like, "Don't worry about that." And then right when he realizes that they're not buying or going for it, Jod's like, 33 attack, and then he goes, "Yes, and he goes, "Aye, Captain." And then as soon he can barely get the word "Captain" out, and these guys shoot him with like a stun beam.
Yeah,
he's like, and then he just shuts down.
Poor
fucking John's just like, son of a bitch. And then he gets captive.
I think this is my favorite droid, besides obviously R2D2. But
yeah,
I think it's one of because he's the only droid that has
a personality.
Well, I mean, because C-3PO does too, but he's kind of an airhead, even though he's C-3PO. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say he's an airhead. He's more of a Boy Scout. Like, oh, we shouldn't be here. Like, he's more of that. You know what I mean? Like he's
more annoying.
Yeah, he's too much of a Boy Scout, dude. He's like,
I feel that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I feel that for sure.
So yeah, but no, this one, he's definitely one of the more entertaining droids for sure that we've ever seen. For sure.
I think the most badass droid so far we've seen is the one that died in Mandalorian 1.
Oh, the one that looks very like analog. The one that
it's an assassin, I think.
That Grogu's like yes. The one that he gets into that one.
Yeah.
I forgot what that was. You forgot about that? You forgot about that, didn't you? That one's one of the more badass ones for sure. So then he gets held captive, and then the bounty hunter goes up to John and tells him, she's like, no hard feelings and blah, 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 and kisses him on the cheek. And then after that happens, we see X-Wing fighters come in and just start attacking the pirates. And then they're like, we got to get out of here. So then they all bail and get in their ships. And then Fern and KB, so it cuts back to the kids, and, the kids are talking about, like, what to do next. And, of course, here comes Fern trying to take charge and blah, blah, blah. And then they disagree on what their next options should be to get back to the ship. So then they kind of have a little bit of an argument, and then
KB kind of stands up for herself.
Yeah, in a way, she's like, we don't know why she's going against Fern, but we just know that she's not agreeing with her for the first time. We find out later, but so then this starts an argument within the group, and it splits them up, but not in the order that they usually go. It's usually Wim and Neil off, Fern and KB.
Right.
But this time, Neil goes with Fern, and KB goes with Wim.
Right.
So then they split off and they go separate ways. Because Wim is like, he sees these little like walking trash crabs, and he's like,
those are pretty fucking cute, by the way.
yeah, right. He sees them. He goes, these are locals. They'll definitely know a way out, and so he follows them, and they go that way, and then Fern and Neil go up to, because they see this huge structure that they can climb to get up to where the ship is.
Yeah.
So then, when Jod and the pirate ship, so then we see Jod on the pirate ship, and he's in his trial that he was locked up for. So they finally have his trial, and he's bound by hands, and Captain Brutus decides that for his heinous crimes, he's sentenced to death by being thrown out of the airlock. And then one of the pirates, we don't know who she is, but she stands up for John. She goes, well, what about the Pirates Code? And she called it something, but it's basically for him to plead his case, Jod. So then Jod starts pleading his case, and he's trying to like tailor to like the pirates like their goals and their greed by saying he's found a planet that not only has a lot of gold but can make currency, or has a lot. It's not only a pleasant place, but it can make its own currency.
Right.
So he starts tailoring to like specific pirates, like what was your dream? You could have command your own army, and this and that. You should be general to your own army. And he goes to another one, is like, you wanted an ocean full to do something or whatever.
Yeah, basically their wildest
their dreams of
ambition
getting the biggest score, what they would do with it.
Right.
Yeah, so he's trying to like please that part of them to get them on his side.
Manipulation.
100%. Yeah, that's all this guy does. So basically telling them they can afford their dream ways of living. And then cut back to Wim and KB following the trash crabs. And then they start
Trash crabs.
Yeah, that's literally what they're called.
I know.
Like, yeah. And then KB starts to experience some system failure. So like we see her just like sitting down, legs out, just hunched over. And then she's still conscious and stuff like that, but she's like talking very slow, and like you could see like the battery's running low on her, kind of. And then she talks Wim through. She's like, you got to replace my microfuse. It's and she starts talking through the repair. She's like, look for any spare droid servos, which is basically like soldering wire.
Yeah.
For her. So meanwhile, as he's scoundering for that stuff, we cut to Wim and KB. Sorry, not Wim, KB. Fern and Neil, and they're on the structure and they're climbing it. They're climbing this big ladder, and then Neil asks Fern to slow down, and she's like, "We can't." She's like, "We can't keep stopping." And then he's like,
my legs and arms aren't as long as
he goes, take it step by step. It's not that, or she goes, take it step by step. It's not that hard. And then he goes, well, it is for me. And he's like, I don't have long spider legs like you, okay? And then, which this is something vital that Fern needed to hear.
Yeah.
Him saying, I can't do it like you.
Right.
Because Fern is very, in her head where, like, she feels like whatever she can do, anybody else can do. You know what I mean? Like, anybody could follow her lead and blah, blah, blah. So that was a very key moment to this episode
Yes,
for him to
for
say
Fern.
that. Yeah. So then, which is how KB feels, but she hasn't said anything to
Correct.
Fern yet. So, which is why they're arguing essentially. So then after gathering all the droid servos, KB instructs Wim to, unwind all the lighter ones and then melt them down. And then she makes a mold in the sand with like a little pipe thing. It's like a straw size. She makes a little mold in the sand, literally pushes it down, takes it out. And then Wim pours the melted servos into the sand and makes a new microfuse.
She doesn't use the old microfuse?
No, because that's not out of her yet. She finds something like that size and puts it in the sand. And then, so she opens up, so she's telling us she opens up her resonator housing and tells him, she's like, you have to replace the microfuse. And while doing this, KB's telling him that everything they have been through has rusted it out. Days without maintenance isn't good for her. It's just not reality. And then Wim says, then tell her that. And she replies, she goes, well, I can't. She doesn't have the patience for that. And then I'll be down to 0 friends again.
Poor thing.
That dude, that fucking broke my heart. I was like, oh my God. I was like, KB. I was like, I got 2 kids you can be friends with. Come over here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to adopt her. I just want to adopt her. You know what I mean? Like, she's so cute. I was like, oh man, that was heartbreaking. But, so then Wim quickly replaces the microfuse and KB just shuts down abruptly. And he's like, KB, like he's like starting to get worried. So
You forgot what Wim said after she said that.
oh yeah.
Well, will you be my friend?
He goes, well, you could be friends with me and Neil. You could be our friends. I was like, oh, freaking Wim, my man, my boy, he's redeeming himself a little bit. Don't do anything action based. Just be there, be the emotional support friend.
He's a smart kid. He wanted to be the leader.
He's an adventurous kid, but he's not prepared for the adventure.
No.
He's very green. He wants to go. I mean, God bless him.
Kid that it would take him time, but he could get there to be.
Yeah, he just needs training. Yeah, for sure. He'll be great as long as he's trained.
What's her name, Fern? I think would help him to become.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So then, so when quickly replaces the microfuse, and then, so this she shuts down, and after a few seconds, she wakes back up. She's like checking out her movements, and she's like, all right. She goes, whoa, that was close. And then Wim's like, to what? And she goes, a complete system shut down, which means death.
Yeah.
For her, like, what the hell?
So nonchalant.
Yeah, complete system shutdowns. That's just like saying, oh, yeah, I would have died. But then, so then she's like, you probably thought it would be more exciting saving someone's life. She goes, anyway, thanks, Jedi. And then he's just like, what? He goes, is that what just happened? He's like, what? And then he smiles at the end. I loved it.
Poor kid.
Yeah, so then back to Fern and Neil. So she has fastened a rope tethering them together. So then, because she's above him. So then to help him with reaching each rung. So it's basically every time he takes a step, she helps pull him to help him reach that next
The
rung.
next one, yeah.
Yeah, which is nice. She's getting teamwork in, and now she's showing that leadership that, a real leader, a real captain should do. But then as they're climbing, they see their ship. What do you call it? Oh no, sorry. Wim and KB reach a giant trash crab, which looked like the crab from Moana.
Yeah.
the what does it say? Shining or whatever the song is. How it goes.
Whatever,
I forgot what it's called.
song, okay.
But where he's like, pick an eye, pick one eye, pick to look at, and it's just like. But it looked just like that. It just had 4 eyes.
Yeah.
So that'd be even harder to focus on. So then, and then they run.
Each kid just look at.
Yeah, each kid gets an eye to look at, pretty much. If all 4 were there, yeah.
You just confuse a robot. All the kids keep moving. While their eyes are like. Ooh.
The confused the crab, right? Just like, where are you going? Or it can focus on each one, and then you can't get away.
Oh, that's scary.
Shit. So then they run before they become dinner, basically.
Yeah. Which
And
is crazy because I don't think we've ever seen like a cannibalistic android. I'm not sure why they wanted to kill them.
Why do you keep calling it an android? It's a giant crab.
But it's made of the junk.
No, that's just like their shell.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like
Imagine like on a
the
beach
crab,
how the
each-
shells.
Yeah, they each go.
So it's an animal. It's not a droid. It's not an android.
No, correct. It's an animal, but they live by the trash heap. So anything around there they use to
It's a
yeah.
piece of
Whatever.
trash. Yeah, they use that as their shell. You thought it was an android the whole time?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'm gonna,
You're like, just find the off switch.
Yeah,
there
seriously.
is no off switch. It's alive. No, so they run before their dinner, and then Fern and Neil see their ship being taken to the trash heap by like those, we'll call them tow trucks, tow crafts.
Yeah.
Which they're like tethered to a cable and they're taking it. If see, you've seen it in like Jurassic Park when they're carrying those huge like cages. So then they see it and it flies by them, and then they jump on the craft. They jump on their ship. Sorry.
Yeah.
No. They jump on one of the tow aircrafts.
Oh yeah.
And then Fern somehow manually starts like force piloting one, and she tries getting it
Well,
lower.
there's a like a lever on it.
There's like a joystick on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost like a yeah. So another shot there. So then, you guys will get crazy drunk watching us if you do this drinking game. So then she's piloting it, trying to get it lower to the ground to rescue KB and Wim, and then it gets close enough for them to jump on it, and then after they jump on it, it like crash lands. And then Fern reconciles with KB, but she apologizes to her, and she realizes that she has to be more considerate of others and basically like put herself in their shoes in a way.
You are right.
Just be more considerate,
Is a
yeah.
live crab.
Yeah, I told you.
I was like, that's crazy. How?
I'm looking through the pictures right now. I think we missed the crab that has a stormtrooper shell.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Oh, shit.
Put your mic on so people can hear you.
It keeps turning.
Whatever. Let's see this.
Oh, the stormtrooper helmet. Yes, I did see that.
Oh, you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
right.
hilarious. Which stormtroopers are going to the spa? I doubt Vader would give them time off, or whoever's in charge.
Well,
Kylo Ren.
this is after the fall of the Empire.
Right.
So, and this is like a trash planet that collects trash.
Oh, fair point. So
It might just
right
be,
now the first order hasn't popped up yet,
No.
so they're just out there.
Yeah.
Or what?
That just reminds me of where this guy.
All right, you're starting to talk more, so turn on your damn mic.
I can't. Where is my birthday guy?
Oh, Sakaar.
Mm.
Yeah.
Starting to remind me of like this.
That is a trash planet too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's totally Sakaar. Yeah.
So me,
So this episode is a kid version of that.
Yeah, basically.
basically. Well, I was thinking, what if it's a clone trooper helmet?
They do look similar. No, that look more
Storm?
Stormtrooper, not clone. Yeah. All right. So then, after they reconcile, then they see their ship, and it's in the path of a giant moving like trash compactor, which you said reminds you of Toy Story, of the
Yeah.
furnace the scene in Toy Story. So they rush to it and they get inside, and then the trash compactor starts getting closer and closer, and then eventually starts clamping onto the back of the ship, destroying it. Just cramping. So the kids are getting the engines ready, trying to get ready to fly away. So they try to fly away. They get up in the air, but then the trash compactor's already got a hold of it.
Yeah.
So then it keeps like just chomping at it and grabbing more and more of it, and it's not letting go. And then Wim tries getting in that gunner seat and shooting it, but it's doing nothing. It's not even phasing this thing. The bullets are just, or the beams are just flying off of it.
Right.
And then Ferd decides that they need to blow it off the hull, and the emergency hull demolition sequencer, that they should use that. And that's and then what is
I
it,
think
Neil or Wim?
Neil. Neil's like, yeah.
She goes like
maybe both of them, honestly.
it was Neil or KB was like that the thing 33 said never to touch.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
then Fern is real hesitant at first, and she's like debating, and then she just presses it.
Slams
Boom.
it, yeah.
And then the coolest fucking part of this whole episode, you start seeing like C4 charges go off all along, like do, and then you start seeing it go all over the back half of the ship, and then you see it just start falling off, and it kind of reminded me of like a speaking of crabs, like or of a hermit crab, just like dropping an old shell and then going into a new one. You know, like it looks when they drop their shell. Which they probably intentionally did that because we just saw a bunch of crabs. Did, yeah. So I just pieced that together right now. So then
I should have seen the light bulb I just seen.
Yeah, you see it go off, right? Yeah. So then yeah, it falls off, and then the ship slowly starts just peeling apart, and then you see basically what's a smaller ship. Mm-hmm. So it turns out this thing was like an armor / extended piece of a ship. So it just made the ship larger, which I would imagine they probably did to house more pirates. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because the ship that they're on, that's not a ship for like pirates. That's a ship for like maybe a squad, right? Of like 4 or 5 people.
And the front had like this small like viewing area, and it almost looked as if it was so that they can take head on like take on collisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of almost like a rammer.
It looks like
because it was flat.
Yeah, it looks small, like a smaller version of. I think we've seen it in. What's the second? The second episode 8. What was that titled? It's not Rise of Skywalker, but anyway. So it reminded me of like, remember when they were above and they were dropping the bombs off of the bomber? It kind of looked like a smaller version of that.
Is the Last Jedi? Right?
Like yes.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, the Last Jedi, because then Rise of Skywalker is the third one. Thank you. It
looked kind of Force Awakens.
Yeah. So it does. It looks like one of those ships where it's like it's comes out to a point, like a narrow point. Yeah. So then that breaks off, and then they hit it, and they fly off to safety, and then that's the episode. So yeah, this is a good one. It gave us a lot of like the kids are starting to grow.
Yes,
they're starting to come into their own. They're starting to become more of a team, more of a group, more closer friends. I mean, they're going through a lot, and then now we're finally starting to see who Jod really is, and see, he may be the fucking antagonist this whole time.
Yeah.
Do you think we are going to finally see who the supervisor is?
They have to.
I'd imagine it's going to be in episode 8, the last episode.
Yeah, because, or we get it right at the end of 7.
Okay.
Like, and then
I'm with that too.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think this is greenlit for a season 2, so I think they had to end the story in a way that it ends.
Yeah,
if it doesn't continue, then they're fine. But if there's room for it to continue, I think this will get a second season.
Do you think so? Really?
I think it's doing phenomenal. I think it's doing really good. It's
the IMDb ratings aren't bad.
They're really high.
They're
all
pretty
in the 7s.
Yeah,
1 8
for it being what it is. Yeah, I don't. And I mean, Disney Plus has got the platform for it, so why not, dude?
Yeah,
you've got really anything else coming out. I mean, Ahsoka season 2, I would imagine, to be the next big thing that they're working on, besides, Mandalorian.
Yeah,
and I hope to get a season 2. I think it'd be cool to see these kids grow.
Yeah, from my understanding, episode 7 is supposed to be the strongest episode before of the first 7.
Okay.
So it'll be the strongest one up to date.
Okay. Strong meaning ratings or story?
Rating and storyline.
Okay, both. Okay. So, nice. Well, I mean, we look forward to seeing those episodes. I'm looking forward to seeing the kids hopefully get back home. They're getting closer and closer. KB's got the coordinates to go home. They're in their ship now. Without Jod, without SM-33.
I think it's going to end with them banding together and wanting to explore the galaxy after they make it home and safe.
You think the parents are going to let them do that?
I don't know. I think
go off?
They're going to ask. They're just going to jump back in the spaceship and go.
Interesting.
And it's going to kind of give this like...
You don't see the parents going with them?
Guardian... No. It's going to give this like younger youth Guardians of the Galaxy just moving on.
I love that.
Like ending with like on to the next mission kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jod will come around. I don't think he's going to be the antagonist.
I don't see that happening this season. Maybe midway through season 2.
I think the supervisor is going to be somebody that
Jod knows.
Or
I mean, this guy just dealt with everybody.
To see who the hell
that is,
supervisor?
yeah.
the
I still think it's Captain Renaud. Attack Renaud. I think it's him.
But we still didn't, from the hologram, you couldn't see his face. So
Correct. So that's what I'm saying. I still think it's going to be him.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
I'm putting my ballot that that's him.
Captain Renaud. Did it sound like a man?
Yeah.
Who?
Renaud?
Yeah. It's not Wim's dad. It's not. If it is, I would be completely surprised, but it's not his dad.
Wim's mom. Could be the supervisor if it's not the captain.
Mom's mom died?
That didn't die.
Yeah, but you think she could do that, be on that same planet with her husband and kid like that, and just leave them?
Maybe she was the successor to Renaud.
Or you just think it's a separate situation and she's just the supervisor there. Just
It could be. It could be connected or it could not be.
And
maybe
because she's a supervisor, she didn't want her family entangled.
Maybe.
Or she was pregnant with Wim. And she went to Attin.
I don't know.
And it's Renaud's son.
Okay, easy. All right, now you're getting crazy. Now
full fucking...
you're losing me the more you go. The more you go.
I have something.
Oh, now before you do that, turn on your mic so people can hear this.
The crab actually has stuff on his shelf. Obviously, all the junk. So one of them is R2D2, a little thing that looks like R2D2, has C3PO, and then it has other like plaques and stuff on it. So I was like, that's cool. It has little figurines of that.
Oh well, there are other R2 units that look like R2D2.
But it
just not like his.
Is R2D2 and C3PO. It says on there.
It's not R2 units. There's the R units because there's R4.
Right.
So.
That's what I meant. The R units. Yeah. It's not exactly R2 and 3PO.
I know, but
it's not actually them.
It's designed to be that.
Oh.
Those things.
Okay.
It's supposed to have like little things.
From like little Easter eggs. Yeah.
Yeah, little Easter eggs.
Kind of like, well, you know how R2 and C3PO are in Indiana Jones, right?
In a carving, right?
They're in a carving, like on a plane, I think it is. Yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
Nice. All right. So that is our breakdown of those two episodes. So stay tuned for, we're going to be doing What If next, episodes 1 through 4 of season 3 of the final season of What If. Unfortunately, I mean, dude, the way that season ended, we could have got so many cool stories. But we'll break that down later on.
So many missed opportunities.
And then as we said, the final episode 7 and 8 we will be doing after that, and then after that episode we're gonna be rounding out the What If with the final episodes 5 through 8 review. So we're breaking that down into 2 different episodes. So that way we
final
just
one will have the Munchkins on or the kiddos on.
The final episode for Skeleton Crew, yeah. For What If, we're breaking those up into 2 just so that we can dive a little deeper into each of those, or at least those 1 through 4 episodes. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned for those if you guys are into those 2 projects. If not, again, we keep saying, let us know any projects you guys want us to cover. Doesn't even have to be comic related. If you guys have a project, film, TV, whatever it is that you guys want our views on or want us to break down or review, drop it in the comments. Yeah. Send it in the DMs, what have you.
Yeah. Slide into the DMs.
Send it through the force. We will receive it.
Yeah,
something.
Give us something, bro.
Yeah. Send an owl, fucking Harry Potter owl. I don't care. Send something. So stay tuned for those episodes. You got anything else? Anything left?
No. Yeah, I'm excited.
So realistically, your bid is that the supervisor is Wim's mom. I like that theory. It'd be cool.
So.
It'd be cool. I still think it's Captain Renaud.
Renaud?
Yeah. I still think it's that. Because that just, it makes more sense that's why he destroyed every trace of Attin. I'm going to be there and I'm going to make my... What's better to a pirate than a place that makes currency?
Yeah.
And he wants it for himself.
Yeah.
I'm going to destroy any trace of this for other pirates.
I'm not denying it's not a great idea.
No. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying, to me, that makes the more sense that's who the supervisor is. whether a pirate can deal with that kind of structure and that kind of government style shit is a different question. But I'm still bidding that it's. I mean, it could be somebody entirely different and just be a brand new.
It's gonna be somebody that they've alluded to, or it's like connected to
that we
one
know
of the kids
of somewhere. Yeah. Okay, interesting. All right. Well, let us know who you guys think the supervisor is. That'd be cool to know.
We'll see after today's episode and see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll text you after I watch it and be like, I knew it!
Yeah.
Okay. It was them the
Did
whole
you mean
time.
to sound like Yoda?
No.
Knew it, I did. No. But yeah.
You were gonna make the circle.
Oh, no.
I know it! So yeah, that's going to do it for us today. So stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you guys for joining us. And Kike, just like the Force, I'm always with you.
Till the end of the line.
Thanks.
Nice. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Also, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all our new episodes and more.
Ha 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 ha!